Chapter 14 of Somme Battle Stories by Alec John Dawson. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Chapter 14 A Cool Canadian. Their rollicking high spirits is certainly the thing that impresses one first and most about our wounded officers and men as they arrive. But there are other impressions. One notes a striking prevalence of true modesty, and upon investigation one often finds a deal of shrewd, direct thoughtfulness. The second in command of a battalion which has been doing some hard and bloody fighting on the immediate flank of our Allies, down Guillemont way, was among the cot cases one talked with. He had been rather badly knocked about by a German bomb at close quarters, but he allowed me to light a cigarette for him, and obviously enjoyed smoking it while we chatted. "Efficiency, organization, thoroughness, jolly good things in their place, you know," he said. "The Germans have them splendidly developed, and in the past perhaps we've been a bit lacking in this direction. But my own impression is that the folk who talk about the Huns having gone mad, being the mad dogs of Europe, they're not really exaggerating so much as you might suppose. I believe a tremendous number of Boches are to all intents and purposes mad. Tell you why. Their worship of efficiency and thoroughness, machine organization, has carried 'em so far that they have entirely lost all sense of humor. Now, when a man really loses all vestige of the sense of humor, I tell you he's too nearly mad to be good company. It really is so. Complete absence of the sense of humor is in effect madness, or leads to it anyhow, and that's what the matter is with the Boche today. When the Hun was practically having things his own way a year ago, you know, the news he gave the world was quite intelligible, and a good deal of it was to be relied on. He lies like the devil now in all his news. Well, that's all right, one can easily see why. But if you read his lies carefully, I've been reading 'em all the way between Amiens and here, you'll find they're the lies of a madman. They are quite mad lies. He says our offensive has been smashed, that we have given it up, having accomplished nothing at all, that we have failed to injure him in the least, have gained nothing, and are so appalled by the terrible casualties he has inflicted on us that we have finally given up in despair. Well, really, you know. Well, I ask you, do we look like it? Perhaps you'll say you can't judge. Well, you ask any man you like who comes from the front. I don't care how hard he's hit, he can't help knowing the preposterous absurdity of that sort of guff. Everybody on our side knows we hold the initiative and dictate every move. On the West Front every move must be costly, because it's all over ground fortified and prepared for a couple of years, an unending chain of fortresses really. But we keep going forward, we never go back, and every hour, day and night, we are inflicting more casualties than we suffer. Thank goodness, at our worst, we never showed much sign of losing our sense of humor. I've been studying the Boche in the field for over a year, and I'm convinced he's lost his entirely, and that this is a worse loss than anything in ground or munitions. Indeed, I think it's fatal. His monstrous war machine is still immensely strong, and will go on working and destroying for a long time yet. But his individual fighters, they are either drug and machine-driven maniacs foaming and fighting as mad dogs fight, or in other places they are broken and despairing wretches who, in the absence of blows and pricks from their herdsmen, beg for mercy and capture. They've no sane medium left. Our chaps are all sane medium, cheery, game fighters, with an active sense of humour, which would redeem the worst sort of shambles. To the last gasp our chaps remain human. So do the French. The Allies will win, if only because of that. They remain human, men and good fellows, no matter how much horror the mad dogs put up. Mad dogs is not too strong, believe me. I've seen 'em spitting and biting. I know, by God I do." A Canadian captain, with his left arm slung and a German officer's helmet in his haversack, said, "Oh, I'm a fraud. Oughtn't to be here at all. There's nothing the matter with me but a bullet through my arm, and anyhow, logically, I suppose I ought to be dead or a prisoner with the Huns. We took a trench northwest of , you know, and our chaps hurried on to the second line without orders. No doubt they thought they'd cleared the front line. I tried hard to get out after them, but it was an awkward place with a high shaling bit of parados, and you'd hardly believe how important your left arm is till you try a job like that without it. My elbow was broken, you see. My orderly was with me. He'd got pipped through the shoulder outside the trench. While I squatted there, I heard a scuffling underground just round the other side of the traverse I was leaning on. Took a look round the other side and found a Boche officer, the first I'd seen, just appearing at the mouth of a dugout, feeling his way out. I could see the spikes of helmets behind him. So there it was. My revolver was empty. My orderly had lost his rifle away outside the trench. Awkward, wasn't it? Well, of course, I pointed my revolver at the Boche officer. One does that instinctively, I suppose. And to my surprise he said in English, "Don't shoot." I said I'd shoot the lot of 'em if one of 'em moved. "You sit perfectly still. Sit right down where you are, Mr. Boche, and I'll take you to England. But if you move, you'll get 6 service bullets, and my men will come along and bury you in your dugout." They sat down like lambs. I managed to whisper to my orderly, round the edge of the traverse, to get forward somehow and bring some men, and first of all to find me a rifle and bayonet, or a bomb, or a toothpick, or some blessed thing better than an empty revolver. "Now, do be careful, Mr. Boche," I said to the officer. "I'm a conscientious objector when I'm at home, and I hate killing like the devil." I don't know for the life of me what made me tell him that. "But I shall be bound to give you 6 bullets if you budge 1 inch, and they're clumsy brutes, these service bullets. They make a devil of a hole at close quarters, worse than 2 or 3 rifle bullets." "We're not moving," said the Boche. He seemed a bit sulky, I thought. So we sat and waited. My orderly had gone, and nothing seemed to happen. I felt for my pipe with my left hand, but it was no go. That arm was out of business. "Got anything to smoke?" I said to the Boche, and as he moved I saw the risk and told him pretty sharply to put down the rifle he carried. "Over this way, please. Gently now, along the ground. Careful," I told him. And so I got a first-rate weapon. Seems incredible I shouldn't have thought of that before, doesn't it? That's why I say I ought logically to be dead. Well, after that we got on famously. He found a cigar and gave it me, but I had to pretend I didn't like cigars, because with only one hand in working order I didn't dare to risk lighting it. But that Boche officer remained curiously sulky, I thought. I tried him on half a dozen subjects, and I know he could speak English as well as I could, but I couldn't get much out of him, except that he didn't like our artillery at all, and that he supposed we must be near the end of our ammunition. Oh, and he said that, now the Zepps had complete command of the air all over England, life must be pretty beastly for us there. I told him I thought they had managed to kill a few dogs and cats, a horse or two, and so on, but that the only thing that worried our folk was that so few people had been able to see a Zepp, and they were all very curious to have a look at one. He didn't seem to like that. After a long time my orderly got back with 3 men and a corporal, and then I ordered the Boches to march out without their weapons. There were 22 of 'em altogether. I thought my empty revolver was rather a good joke, so I told the Boche officer about it then. But he only scowled and growled, and after that he was sulkier than ever, so we had no more talk. End of chapter 14.